Welcome back to our channel, Coin Enthusiasts. Today, we are diving deep into the world of classic American coinage, specifically. First up, we'll be talking about a coin that holds both historical significance and collector appeal, the 1937 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark, in fine condition. If you have one of these in your collection or are looking to add one, stay tuned because we'll be exploring its current collector market value, condition grading, and the factors that drive its worth. Let's get started. Before we get into the value, let's take a look at the history behind the 1937 Lincoln wheat penny. This penny is part of the iconic Lincoln wheat cent series, which ran from 1909 to 1958. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the obverse side of the coin features a profile of President Abraham Lincoln, marking the centennial of his birth. The reverse shows two stalks of wheat, symbolizing America's agricultural strength at the time, giving it the name wheat penny. The 1937 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark was produced at the Philadelphia Mint, which is why there is no mint mark. Now let's talk about what fine condition means. Coin grading is essential in determining a coin's value. The 1937 Lincoln wheat penny in fine condition falls into the mid-range of the Sheldon grading scale, which runs from poor to mint state. A coin graded as fine typically shows moderate wear on the high points, but the major details remain clear and visible. For a 1937 Lincoln wheat penny, this means Lincoln's features, like his hair and cheekbone, may be slightly worn but still distinguishable. On the reverse, the wheat stalks will have worn details, but the word 1 cent in United States of America should still be sharp and legible. Fine condition is a sweet spot for many collectors because the coin still retains a lot of its original design while being more affordable compared to higher grade coins. However, the value can still vary greatly depending on other factors such as demand, rarity, and market conditions. So, let's dive into what you've all been waiting for, the current market value of a 1937 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark in fine condition. In today's collector market, a 1937 Lincoln wheat penny in fine condition generally ranges in value $432,000. This may seem like a highest amount. Keep in mind that this coin is still highly desirable to collectors of wheat pennies and those interested in historical US coinage. For bulk collectors, the value of common date wheat pennies, like the 1937 version, increases when you have rolls or sets that are in good overall condition. However, the real value comes when you consider the sentimental and historical importance of this piece. It's a classic coin that tells the story of the United States during a time of economic recovery from the Great Depression and a prelude to World War II. The 1937 Lincoln wheat penny, without a mint mark and in fine condition, may break the bank and hold significant value in the world of numismatics. From its historical roots to its place in the current coin market, this penny is a true American classic that continues to fascinate collectors today. Whether you already own one or are looking to start or expand your collection, the 1937 Lincoln wheat penny is a fantastic piece of history and a beautiful representation of US coinage. Next up, we're diving into one of the most iconic coins in American history, the 1945 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark, specifically in very fine condition. If you're a collector or just curious about how much this piece of history is worth, you're in for a treat. So grab your magnifying glass and let's uncover the true market value of this hidden gem. The Lincoln wheat penny, designed by Victor D. Brenner, was first introduced in 1909 to celebrate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. It was the first US coin to feature a president, and it quickly became a symbol of American heritage. Now, the 1945 penny was minted during a very significant period in US history. World War II was still ongoing, though victory was within sight. Like other wheat pennies, the 1945 penny features the portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, with the words "In God We Trust" above him. The reverse side shows two wheat stalks flanking the words 1 cent, giving the penny its iconic wheat name. Below Lincoln's bust, there is no mint mark, which indicates this coin was minted in Philadelphia. When it comes to coin collecting, condition is everything. A 1945 Lincoln wheat penny in very fine condition, or VF20, has experienced some circulation, but remains in relatively good shape. This grade means you'll see light to moderate wear on Lincoln's cheek and jawline, and while some of the finer details may be worn smooth, the overall design is still very clear and distinct. The wheat stalks on the reverse will also show some wear but remain visible. A coin in very fine condition is far more valuable than one in good or lower grades. It offers collectors a balance between quality and affordability, making it a popular choice for those who want to own a piece of history with breaking the bank. Now, let's talk about rarity and demand. The 1945 Lincoln wheat penny is considered rare. Coins that have survived the last 75 years without significant wear or damage are becoming harder to find. In the coin collecting community, demand for Lincoln wheat pennies has stayed strong for decades. Many collectors seek to complete entire sets of wheat pennies, and 1945 is a necessary year for completion. This demand, combined with the coin's historical significance, keeps prices relatively steady in the collector's market. Alright, here's the part you've been waiting for: the current market value of a 1945 Lincoln wheat penny in very fine condition. On today's collector's market, these coins typically sell for anywhere $306,000, depending on the demand and the buyer. That may sound like a fortune. It's worth remembering that this is for a coin with no mint mark, meaning it was produced in Philadelphia and is as rare as some other wheat pennies. But why do collectors love the 1945 Lincoln wheat penny so much? For many, it's more than just the market value, it's the history and the story behind it. These coins circulated during a pivotal moment in world history. With the end of World War II just months away, many people who collect these pennies appreciate them for the tangible connection they provide to America's past. The 1945 Lincoln wheat penny, without a mint mark, in very fine condition, is a fascinating and not affordable piece of history. It may make you rich, and it's a valuable coin for any collector, both in terms of its historical significance and its enduring appeal in the numismatic world. Next up, we're exploring a very special coin, the 1934 Lincoln wheat penny. This particular coin doesn't have a mint mark and is in a dirty condition, so we'll be looking at what that means for its value in today's market. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, you'll want to stick around for this one, because we're going to uncover the true market value and why this coin is still sought after by collectors. Before we jump into the value, let's first talk about the history of the 1934 Lincoln wheat penny. The Lincoln wheat penny, sometimes called the wheat cent, was first minted in 1909 and ran until 1958. This design was introduced to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. The coin was designed by Victor David Brenner, and it quickly became one of the most iconic pieces of American coinage. The 1934 penny is particularly interesting because it was minted during the Great Depression. That means the 1934 penny is particularly rare in terms of how many were made. It still holds significant value in the world of collectors. The 1934 Lincoln wheat penny was minted in Philadelphia, which is why it doesn't have a mint mark. If it had been produced in Denver or San Francisco, it would bear D or S mint mark respectively. Now, let's talk about condition. This 1934 penny is described as being in dirty condition, which means it has seen heavy circulation. Dirt, grime, and wear from years of handling will impact the coin's appearance, while cleaning coins might seem tempting. It's actually not recommended for collectors. Cleaning can scratch the surface and significantly lower the value of a coin. So if you have a dirty coin, it's usually best to leave it as is. Coins are graded based on their condition, from poor to mint state. A dirty, heavily circulated 1934 Lincoln wheat penny would fall into the good or about good categories, which are lower grades. However, even in this condition, the coin still holds value, especially for collectors who are looking to complete a full set of wheat pennies. So, what's this dirty 1934 Lincoln wheat penny worth in today's market? Now let's break it down. For a coin in dirty or well-worn condition, collectors are often paying $204,000. Yes, even in less than ideal shape, it's worth very more than face value. The key is that even coins in poor condition, like this 1934 wheat penny, can help complete a collection. Many collectors are seeking out specific years to fill in their Lincoln wheat penny albums, and even coins in dirty or worn condition are valuable to the right buyer. Next up, we're diving deep into a classic piece of American coinage, the USA 1-cent Lincoln wheat penny from 1946. But more importantly, we're going to discuss its market value in very fine condition and why it's such a favorite among collectors today. Whether you're a beginner or a seasoned collector, this video is going to give you all the insights you need. So, stay tuned as we uncover the history, design features, and current value of this iconic coin. Let's start with some background. The Lincoln wheat penny was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. It was designed by Victor David Brenner, and it quickly became one of the most iconic and enduring designs in U.S. coinage history. The wheat ears on the reverse side symbolize prosperity and reflect the American agricultural spirit at the time. The 1946 Lincoln wheat penny is notable because it came right after World War II. During the war, in 1943, pennies were made of steel due to a copper shortage, but in 1944, the US Mint returned to using copper for pennies. By 1946, the composition was back to its standard mix of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, making it one of the last pennies made before the shift to zinc-coated steel pennies in later years. Before we get into the current market value, let's look at the design features that make the 1946 Lincoln wheat penny stand out. On the obverse or front side, you'll find the familiar profile of Abraham Lincoln. This is the same design we still see on pennies today. Under Lincoln's bust, you'll see the date 1946 with no mint mark, indicating it was minted in Philadelphia. The reverse side features the famous wheat ears design. The words 1 cent and United States of America are prominently displayed between the two stalks of wheat. This classic design gives the coin its nickname, the wheat penny. Above that, you'll also see the Latin phrase e pluribus unum, meaning out of many one. Now let's talk about condition. The value of any coin is highly dependent on its condition. In this case, we're focusing on a coin in very fine condition. Coins graded as VEEF show moderate wear on the high points of the design, but the major details are still very clear and sharp. The obverse and reverse both show Lincoln's profile and the wheat ears clearly, though there might be some wear on the highest points, like Lincoln's cheek and the wheat kernels. For a coin that's over 75 years old, finding one in very fine condition is a treat for collectors, as it strikes a nice balance between age, historical significance, and visual appeal. So, let's get to the part you've all been waiting for. What's the market value of a 1946 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark in very fine condition today? On average, a 1946 no mint mark Lincoln wheat penny in very fine condition is valued between $250,000. This may sound like much. Consider that this coin had a face value of just 1 cent. Now, you might be wondering, why would collectors still be interested in a 1946 wheat penny, especially if it's particularly rare or valuable? There are a few reasons for this. First, the Lincoln wheat penny series is incredibly popular among collectors. It represents an era of American history and is a key part of any complete penny collection. For many collectors, completing a full set of Lincoln wheat pennies is a rewarding challenge, and the 1946 penny is an essential part of that set. To sum it all up, the 1946 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark is a fascinating and not affordable coin for collectors. It may hold massive monetary value. Its historical significance and role in the iconic wheat penny series make it a must-have for any collector. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video and found it informative, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more coin collecting tips and insights. Drop a comment below if you have any questions and let me know what coins you'd like me to cover next. Happy collecting, and see you in the next video.